Factz Ova Feelinz, the podcast, episode numero 5. We back again with the lovely melanated Lauren Madison.
Elevated, yes, always elevated.
Yeah, I
Thank you for
misspoke.
having
I
me.
said I said melanated, huh?
Yeah, a lot. It's okay because
It's
I'm
still
melanated
factual.
too.
It's
Yeah,
still factual.
exactly.
Yes.
No worries.
Extreme pleasure to have you back in the building. I want to let you know right now, you're gonna have to carry a lot of the weight. If you can't hear my voice, it's not quite as I would have it to be. It's pretty stressed.
That's all right.
So.
I can carry some weight.
Okay.
Just call me Atlas.
That's
Shrug it off.
I like that. I like that. I like that. A lot of things going on to discuss. I know you have a list there that we decided that we was going to discuss, but I'm not quite sure what you want to discuss first. So, ladies' choice.
I mean, we could talk. We can talk about how we have both finally completed our DUI programs.
Congratulations to us.
Congratulations! Yes.
Shout out to Miss K and the whole squad.
Yeah, Miss K, miss you already.
Yeah, we do. We out of here.
Gotta tell everybody what we're thankful for and grateful.
I hope you're having a ravishing time.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
Insider. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Like, I would like to know, just in summary, what's your takeaway from the whole experience? Was it something you appreciated, enjoyed, or was it a big headache, a burden? How much did you lose? A lot of money? Did it cost you?
Well, at the time, yes, the money definitely, was like, like I gotta pay this. But at the same time, that's the whole point, right? Is so that way it can deter you from not,
Indeed.
making that choice. So it was like, all right, suck it up, Buttercup, because this is what it has to be. As far as the overall class, yeah, I was dreading it. Like, who wants to go to DUI class? And like, if you do or don't tell people, you're going to DUI class. Right. And then you didn't know like what the environment was going to be. You go into this building, you go upstairs to this door, and it's like super tiny. You don't know what to expect.
Right.
So I just went in there like, but at the same time, like I've talked about before, everybody most likely is going to come in that way. So why not turn it into a positive? So for me, I just sat and listened, and I participated as I started to shine. I loved being there because it ended up being something I ended up looking forward to, because you get to hear so many different perspectives. So many different people are coming in and leaving. I want to say her name is Miss Kathy, and I feel like I get it wrong every time.
I never knew.
But the lady that you were always getting into with, she was so funny.
Oh no! Wait. Oh, I mean I forget her name too.
Yeah. Sorry, love. But you were memorable. Your spirit was still memorable. I want to call you Miss Kathy.
You are a classic. Yeah.
But it's crazy because like you said, like there are people of like higher professions, and then you have people that are literally just turning 21, just coming off the block, like coming in, like all different walks of life, and then all their different perspectives and all their different just like where they came from really puts a different
Indeed.
like view on what you're doing. So it ended up being a really positive experience for me. I actually wanted to kind of stay longer, but
that's funny.
just for the conversation. It was a good conversation. I had a lot of brain massages. You and I used to go back and forth and just questioning certain things. I mean, we went off topic so many times, but it's fine. Like
nobody minded.
Yeah, it was all in good spirits. And even when people had different opinions or like negative opinions of things, it was still a good, it was just good. It was good. And then it turned into 3 hours. I was even more happy because you know how it's like, oh, if you're only in the first hour, you got to go.
That first hour used to go by so fast. Those second two used to be so long.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I had a good time. And then it was like, oh, dang.
Are you accustomed to walking into rooms with that type of energy? Was that something that you started doing all the time?
Oh, yeah. I got hated on in my job for it.
I remember you shared something like that.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all. So, yeah, I'm not even going to name y'all.
Look at me now. That's all. Just keep shining on them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Always. Like, you're not going to dim my light no matter what. You thought, like, that was going to do something, and it just made me brighter because I just took it and emulated that. I didn't make it a negative.
That's I was thinking the same thing about how you can't judge a book by its cover.
Oh yeah.
So when you see the different people come in and you trying to you run a make of what you see, and then the way we're all getting the opportunity to speak, and you start seeing what people think and how they feel and how they express themselves, that it doesn't always line up with what they look like.
Right.
For one, the only person in the room who was involved in a hit and run was a female. What was how did you get arrested? Like, were you were you driving, parked, pulled over? Did you do something goofy?
No, I was pulled over. Initially they said I was speeding, and then it turned into other things. When I was arrested, I wasn't taken to jail. I was just taken in the car, and then they ended up releasing me to my mom when she ended up getting
She came
there.
to the scene?
Yeah, and like honestly, the cop was being real extra because he ended up towing my car and everything like that. But yeah, and then he was like popping off at the mouth afterwards. Like after I like got my ticket, I was trying to like go home, and like he still was like, but my mom was like, you have to just let him do it because you want to go home tonight. Like you want to go home tonight. Don't just, and that's the thing that like sucks about stuff like that is just like how situations can be. I know I don't want to have a Travis Scott moment. It's just I'm gonna check on you. Okay, you okay?
Thank you. Go ahead. I apologize.
I don't want you to have a moment on me, and I'm still going on with my
Please, yes.
with the podcast.
Thank you for your concern. I
Yeah.
apologize, but go ahead.
Dang, like. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was just saying like how certain situations, you know, you would think if you have that line of work, like you know how to conduct yourself. I feel like that should be part of the training if it's not already.
Right.
But yeah, my arrest wasn't too exciting. How was your arrest for your DUI?
Mine was far more pleasurable than yours. I was pretty much doing, from the account of the officer, 100 miles an hour on the freeway leaving the Beverly Hills area in a truck, swerving pretty much. And in hindsight, I can feel and remember myself swerving. And when the officer pulled me over, I called myself sobering up and trying to speak to him. And he was like, have you been drinking tonight? And I was like, no, sir, I don't drink at all. And I had entirely too much. I mean, it was extremely obvious. And I still was trying to run with that. And I was slurring. So he looked at me with that like, okay, look, we finna run these tests. And I was fortunate because his demeanor was quite cordial. And not only that, I guess you consider it arrested because I was transported from the location to the station, but I never went inside. I was fingerprinted in the parking lot. Mind you, this is during COVID.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna say it was the COVID times.
Yeah, that might have been a reason why it was that lax, and they allowed the individual whom I was on my way to go meet to come pick me up from the location. Mm-hmm. They actually did something other than impound my car. They took it to a place and they stored it, which it was a lot less restrictions or red tape for me to get it out.
Interesting.
And one interesting thing about that experience, it was somewhere on Crenshaw, like Crenshaw and Florence. It was like a little tow yard. Mm-hmm. And I remember early in the morning getting there to the location, and there was a dude there, and I was asking, the way they had my truck, it was ducked off behind a whole lot of other vehicles. And it was looking kind of odd that I know my truck ain't been here that long. These cars look like they haven't moved in a long time. I wonder how they got my truck way back there. They're like, so I'm thinking, and then I see somebody like that's tending to the whole lot. Please excuse my voice, I'm hoarse, y'all. But I asked him, I'm like, hey, bro, that's my truck. I need to get my truck. He was like, oh, man, the boss ain't, it's like 9 in the morning. Like, the boss ain't going to be back till like 4 p.m., man. I don't have the right, I don't have the authority to do that. I'm like, oh, man.
I know you were like, how am I going to?
Yeah, so, and then I'm like, as I'm turning around to walk away, he like, hey, man, you Spider Loc? I'm like, yeah. He like, oh, homie, come on, man. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
And he allowed me. Hey, my nigga, I don't
guy.
remember your name, homie, but you a real one. I appreciate that. I hope. Damn, I hope I ain't putting you on blast.
I'm dead.
But you a real one, my nigga. Yeah, I hope so. But hey, you really made my day that day, real one. And that was like my process of getting arrested. And what I find ironic about my experience, I did not have to go through that.
How do you mean?
The recklessness in my behavior, I was fully aware of it. And I could have just not, even being intoxicated, I didn't have to be that reckless. And I just allowed myself to swerve. I knew it was unnecessary to be speeding and swerving, but I did it anyway.
Wow.
So all my life, that was my first DUI. I learned a very valuable lesson, because every time we speak on this, we both think about the implications on our lives.
Right.
But with intoxicated driving, the deeper implications are the lives that we can affect that aren't ours, like the millions of videos that we had to watch made quite clear. And that really settled with me. So from this point forward, I am far more responsible with the way I approach the concept of drinking and driving. So I did get that out of it. The financial part.
Oh, yeah. It's like.
They got the bandicas out of nigga.
Oh, yeah.
And this is another thing. This is the first time I've been in legal trouble. And I just handled it. All the requirements. I never let nothing get late. To now I got a warrant. And now this is the first time in my life. And this is the one that had the most different checkoffs. They wanted me, I had to do a MAD class. I had to do a HAM class. I had to do the DUI class, which caused us to have to do the AA classes.
Yeah. There's a lot of steps. It's not just like go to a DUI program for a couple of weeks and then you gotta go. Then you got the fine too on top of
fines.
it. And then like your license does get suspended.
Going to court in the first place.
Yeah.
The old me,
all those times you have to go to court.
I'm so proud of myself. The old me, this shit would have been a warrant. I would have been on run. And it only makes it worse in the long run. So
yeah, just get it handled. Like take it off the sweat of your brow and just keep it pushing. Like it is what it is. And when you go to your DUI program, hopefully your DUI program was as decent, or you have a bubble in your group so it can last.
Hopefully y'all find Miss K.
Yeah, hopefully you find Miss K.
Every kiss begins with K.
I'm dead.
You feel me?
So yeah, the cause.
How much were you out?
The thing is I have not even convicted yet. I'm still in legal like fights with that. I haven't even taken the deal yet.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but my lawyer pretty much told me at this point that in addition to all the stuff I've already paid for, for me, I had to do the 3-month program. That was $600, and you could pay it in payments, but you're like deposits like $120, and then you have to pay it by the time. And if you miss any classes, which if you do the 3-hour class, that they consider that 2 classes, is $30 per each class that you miss, and then you have to make it up within a certain amount of time, and you have to have your balance paid off. So
you have to pay the $35 for that class.
Yeah. So like, for example, like I missed because I got sick with COVID. I got to pay all that money still, even though I had paid off the class because I knew my money was going to get tight. So I was like, I don't even want to owe this.
You were ahead of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're not guilty. You're taking the class. You can pay in increments. You got it paid up. You were ahead of the whole process.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, and then you have to pay the fines for the DMV because the DMV is separate from the court system. So then you have to pay.
You have to get SR22?
Yeah, I have an SR22 until 2023 and you have to pay it every month. And if you don't pay it, then your license is automatically suspended. So
I got an SR22 too, and I'm so grateful that I didn't have to get the interlock. A lot of people don't even know what an SR22 is. Like, it's just another responsibility.
It's
like
saying that you're going to be financially responsible for like that you have insurance, like no matter like how it's kind of like insurance, like that you're insuring like that you're not going to like do anything crazy. You're taking that extra like liability or like whatever, but it's basically it's financial responsibility that you're claiming that I'm going to pay this for the next 3 years because I'm being obligated to, and I'm going to pay this. Otherwise, if I don't pay this, I am willingly, like, I know that my license will be suspended. So it's just kind of like, oh, you did something bad, so this is your punishment. Sit in timeout, but you can still play. But sit in timeout for like a number of
times.
times.
Through the years, my license have been suspended on numerous occasions.
And it could be, you can get an SR22 for other things too, like having too many tickets and stuff like that as well. Because my ex had an SR22 and he never had a DUI.
Yeah, I've had SR22s multiple occasions, but this is my first DUI. So, but I've had to get them through my life. And I've never actually known what they were. I just knew it was I had to go and say, I need it, and they tell me how much, and I get it. But I never was educated on exactly what an SR22 is.
Yeah, it's literally the first part is financial responsibility, saying that you're going to be financially responsible for this issue for the next however many many years.
Reflecting on what you said about your thought process and what your mother told you at the point of your arrest kind of brings me to the thought of another subject that's on our list. I'm not. What city was it? The 60 shots.
Akron,
God bless.
Ohio.
God bless the dead. Condolences to his family. I got a real interesting meme here. It's quite.
Well, let's talk about the topic at hand. Like
Which?
he was. Well, I believe he was door dashing. If I'm not, or was he not door dashing? He was just driving.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just acting astonished. Like, no way.
Yeah, he was driving, and an officer attempted to pull him over, and for some reason, he fled the scene. And by the time the cops caught up to him, there were at least 8 officers on the scene. He was running. They ran up to him, and they proceeded to shoot him, and they shot over what the sergeant or the lead officer was saying, up to 90 rounds were dispersed, and he had, according to the coroner's office or the autopsy that was done, 60 wounds. We don't know if there was 60 official gunshot wounds, because you know how some bullets can enter in through the body, or some can travel throughout. So he has at least 60 visible bullet shots in his body, and then they proceeded to handcuff him after the fact.
After he exited the passenger side of the vehicle.
No, they shot him 60 times, and then once they shot him, they went over to his body and handcuffed him.
I've seen police do that to multiple unarmed black gunshot victims.
But the thing is, he did have a gun in the car. He had his gun in the car. It was in his seat when they found the car, allegedly found in the seat.
It was, the gun was not in his hand. It was in the vehicle.
The whole, I guess what happened was when the officer was attempting to pull him over, they heard a gunshot in the car, that's when they proceeded to say that there was a shot fired in his vehicle.
That's what they claim.
And they claim that it was possibly a shot fired at them, though there's never been a history. I mean, I guess he had some kind of, his family alleges that, or states that he was going through a recent breakup or something that was making him upset. So it could have triggered such a, so he was probably upset about whatever that was, and was probably sitting in the car having a moment, and then the cops came up, and it just was a recipe for disaster. I mean, it could have been anything, but
I think I saw something to the effect that there's some sort of footage that indicates there was a muzzle flash from his vehicle throughout the chase. I believe that the officers are stating that's their justification for being ready to shoot, is because throughout the chase, they got indication that he fired a shot. And I think there's allegedly footage of that taking place. I see them trying to put their story in place.
Yeah, it was hard, like, because I watched I didn't watch the entirety of the video. I did watch some of the chase, and then I skipped over to the part where, it was coming to a stop, he getting out of the car, them pursuing on foot. But it seemed kind of muffled, so it's kind of hard to tell if it was it's going off of what they say, and Jayland unfortunately can't.
Actually the only footage they have available.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, there has to be. I would think there's at least 8 different footages, because there were 8 officers on site, plus whatever street cameras or video cameras were around at the time. I'm sure there is a lot more, but that's just the one they're choosing to show at the moment. I hope they do release, if there is any more. I hope they do release it.
Did you hear anything about him having a mask on?
I did not read anything about
I
that.
saw something that indicated he had on a ski mask. So I wonder.
They're trying to imply that well, that anytime it seems like a person of color gets shot, they're always trying to paint them out to be the villain. It's almost expected now. So it's like, okay, so what was the reason why this was justified? Oh, he had a ski mask and he did have a gun in the car. To
that effect, it blows my mind. For the life of me, I have no idea why we are aware that Trayvon Martin had marijuana in his system. I have no idea why that ever was mentioned, why that was part of the story.
Why it was relevant.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Well, I guess some people could argue that the reason because marijuana has been shown to bring out psychosis for some and like anxiety. So what I'm sure they were trying to portray was that maybe he was in a psychotic mindset at the time because he had weed in his system. But the thing about weed is you can have weed in your system for 30 days and be sober.
Indeed. And if you're speaking to the effects of weed and the way it's generally perceived, weed is
it's a docile kind of a drug.
Yes, it calms you down.
You're eating, you're chilling.
The guy that wants to do something hits the weed and now I'm cool.
Yeah,
so it has the opposite effect. So that doesn't work for me.
As the Cat Williams would say, that fuck it in your system.
Exactly. I didn't want to do all that, but that's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm gonna do that.
No, I appreciate it. But I want to share this meme. Y'all can't see it, but they showed the victim, God bless his soul. What's his name?
Jayland Walker.
Jayland Walker. And then there's a Caucasian mass murderer on the right side. It's a split screen. In the wording says, 25-year-old allegedly committed a traffic violation, attempted to flee from traffic stop, shot 60 times, and executed by police. The other individual, 22 years old, allegedly murdered 6 and shot 30 others, attempted to flee from traffic stop, taken into custody without incident.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is the reality we face on so many occasions that it is so tiring to have to keep singing the same song.
And what Spider Loc is referring to is the white person or Caucasian person that he's talking to is Robert Crimo, I guess, over the July 4th weekend. I believe this happened yesterday. He went to a festival, I believe, and shot a bunch of people, shot over 30 plus people. He did flee the scene, so officers obviously knew that he was armed and dangerous, and he fled the scene. He was running from the cops, but they were able to bring him into custody without incident. So now we go back to what is the standard here? What is the difference? Why wasn't he shot 60 times? Why wasn't why did this person deserve 60 bullet holes in a gravesite, but this one is gonna be able to face?
According to Candace Owens, it's definitely not due to a condition in our communities that needs to be addressed. It's just random events that don't correlate one with another, according to her. And I also am noticing, typically, when we suffer a loss like this of one of our own, in order to make the point that we're making right now, we typically have to reach back in history to find an event of a counterpart to compare it to. How ironic, how close in time these two events are.
Oh yeah.
Right now, it shows the tone. It shows the tone of our community right now. It's not like, oh, that's different because it was back then.
Mm-hmm. These are this is happening in this day and age.
In the same week. How much the dates? How long between the dates of the two incidents?
Like I said, Robert Crimo was July 4th, and I believe Jayland Walker, it just happened. I believe it happened last week, June 27th.
Okay, so that's less than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's in the general scope of things. That's the same time frame. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and then
I believe it was June 27th. If you could check that, that'd be great.
It was June 27th.
Yes, June 27th. 27th of that's a week. That's 7 days. That's actually 7 days. 7 days, right?
Yes. Yeah, literal 7 days.
Same week. So, I mean, all America, all around the world, you have two comparisons.
Was this Highland Park, California, if I'm not mistaken? Illinois. I'm sorry.
I think it was Chicago. Oh, Illinois.
Yeah, because we have a Highland Park in California.
So I want your prediction. Right here live, we make a prediction.
Oh, goodness. Okay. What
Consequences. The officers, will they face them or no?
This one is, I'm not entirely sure. First of all, they're already on paid administrative leave. They're doing their investigation. I believe they are already handing off the torch to the FBI on this one. I'm not entirely. I believe they are.
That's still the okey-doke.
But yeah, I don't believe they are. Only for a few reasons. One, there's 8 of them that did. So my mom works in law enforcement, and she basically said the mindset of how you're trained in law enforcement is that, you know, when you shoot to rapid fire. Like that's how they teach you to shoot, just in case like this person is on drugs and is too strong and is like attacking you. You want to get, you know.
I think that came from the days when PCP was very popular, and a lot of times there was accounts of people taking bullets from the police and still charging. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they're trained to literally shoot, pow, 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 and empty the clip. But my whole thing is once you see him on the ground and you hear like the first, rah, like at what point do you go, okay, this part? I'm just like, how did we skip over tasers? How did we skip over
a chase?
Just a regular chase. Like it just went from 0 to 1,000. Out of nowhere, whereas, and I'm trying to, okay, so this happened in Illinois, that one happened in Ohio, versus Illinois, these Illinois police officers where they were able to, you know, people would say it's different states, different, but I feel like everywhere, it doesn't matter what state.
That's why we're talking about America, because that's the only thing that indicates difference. Outside of that, this is a problem that has happened since Rodney King in Los Angeles.
It was happening before that, but Rodney King was the first one that was actually videotaped, cameras, yeah, in front of everyone. Now we have cameras everywhere.
That's what I was referring to. Indeed. That's what I was referring to.
And before that, it was known at some point. It was known, but it was like, oh, who cares? Now you got it on camera, and it's making you look in the face of what you're doing, and that referring to Rodney King.
And you would imagine now that everything's being videotaped.
Even more.
They would be forced to have some sense of accountability. They don't.
Yeah, they really don't.
I don't understand how in a society that's supposed to be so democratic and we're supposed to be so up to date. Yeah, I don't get it.
No, we're not. We are falling short and few every time. The rest of the world looks at us, and we're getting dimmer and dimmer. And dumber and dumber.
As I expand my social circle and my general conversation, it just changes, and I'm more aware of politics and finances than I have been for the majority of my life, and I'm starting to realize that America is not
where we used to be.
We're not.
We are not the strong, dominant country that is steadfast, and we stand on our own 2 feet, and we are like the leader of like the world in a sense. Like we pull out the newest technology, the newest grades of safety, the newest kind of medical technology, the newest information. We have it all. We don't have none of that.
Wow.
No more. In so many different scales.
Yeah,
even as a people, we got so full of ourselves that now we're breaking down. Sorry, I'm about to go into a tangent about that.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Yeah, we about to go into a whole tangent.
It's okay. I even will publicly declare, from my general understanding of politics, post Donald Trump, I have a appreciation for Donald Trump. I swear to God, if you just take this one fact,
Toyota.
He brought the bag. He brought the bag to the peoples. During COVID, I love to reflect on how on every Monday, every Bank of America in the city had them long ass lines at the ATM. Donald Trump did that. It was so much money in the city. It was niggas from out of town with as many goddamn chains like Nipsey Hussle used to have on, jewelry, and they was good. You see people from everywhere, and Donald Trump did that. So, hey.
Yeah, a lot of
what can we claim? Point to any other gesture, any other president has done in our lifetime that can compare to that. Name a gesture that anything. Fuck how they feel about us. They all feel the same about us. I was speaking to Indian spine surgeon the other evening, and an Asian cigar importer, and they had me cornered in Beverly Hills in a cigar lounge, having an intellectual conversation with me that echoed this sentiment. When you look at structure in community and one group versus the other, Asians, whites, us, the fact that we are not really at the table when it comes to a collective in moving forward.
Yeah, as a one unit.
It was not, I'm going to say this, a lot more smoother than they said it.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
We lived, we've eaten, we've watched fights, we've drank, we smoked cigars, we had the bullshit conversation. You know how conversation flow.
Yeah.
It's gotten to a serious tone. And this is what it boiled down to, like, your people. He didn't use that term.
Yeah.
But this is what we're discussing. And I have an Asian cigar importer. He does like 15 million in cigars a year. And I have a Indian spine surgeon who speaks like one of the time at the Liberty machine, like that type of dude. My mama. Shout out. They're my homies though, my bros, like so.
Yeah.
And this is what they were engaging me. This is what they were sharing with me. And they were like, bro, this is what every other community is on. Like, you look around, right? I don't give a fuck about black, white. We are bros. That part is evident. They don't give a fuck.
We don't hold we don't hold each other in that, like, I got you because we're all a part of the same community.
And look,
that's why we're broken apart.
This is the point that we're making to me.
I'm ready.
Every other community is okay. This is okay. You feel free. You feel free.
I go for it.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Oh, my mama. But this is the point they were making very clear to me that resonated. And I'm telling you, Factz Ova Feelinz is the name of this podcast because I was at a point where
you got in your feelings.
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I did not.
Okay.
I processed what they were saying, and initially, it's like, you just said what? And I wanted to start saying things to speak up on behalf of our people.
So your feelings bubbled a little.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
They did.
But then you had to take a look at the facts.
And oh, wow.
And it changed your...
And historically, I have not done well with these type of situations. Mm-hmm. But everything that is at stake at this moment caused me to like, I know I can't go nigga. So I'm going to allow them to get their concept off, right? So
you got to listen.
The part that was stinging, I took it. Mm-hmm. But as they start to speak, I began to get a vision and say, God damn it, they right. Mm-hmm. And what they were telling me is this. This is what every other community is on in America, because this is what it's about. This is a capitalist, and everybody is trying to be as effective as they can in this system, and that's what it's about. And you're like, imagine your people are the only ones saying, hey, it's not fair. They got a head start. He said, bro, it might be true. It might not even be fair. But if you see nobody's caring, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah, like, do something about it.
And you know what I got a vision of? I forget the athlete's name, but his daughter was running track. It's a viral video of some little girls running track. And they, on the march, set, go, they all take off. And as soon as they take off, one little black girl lost her shoe. And she turns around, goes back, gets her shoe, and she takes off running. They got such a head start.
But she caught up. I feel like I saw that video.
You saw it. She lapped their ass. And I saw us as a community, we're that little girl.
Yeah.
Imagine her start waving picket signs saying, hold up, this not fair.
Yeah.
They got a head start. Nobody
about
cares. We got to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And Talaya Crawford, we love you, baby. We love her people.
Shout out to Talaya Crawford.
Saying, go Lele. I love that. That was hard.
It was very inspiring, for sure.
We as a collection, Lele, you inspiring our people. We have to be Lele, y'all. We have to come together, be Lele. We know what we went through. We know
we gotta pick up our shoe and then go and lap. And like, we had all these disparities, these issues, these stuff, all of it. But guess what? Who passed you? Past you? Past you?
Whoa. We are forced.
Come out on top.
How it go?
We are a force to be reckoned with.
And by ourselves, we together. How that? I'm something by myself, but I'm a force when we together. It's a song, a lyric.
I know. Na. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when
I think,
together.
I think it's like somebody saying we.
Neo.
Okay, Neo. All I'm saying, y'all, listen to me. If we can get this in our brain collectively as a community, we have to think as ourselves as a community like Lele. We are Lele. We have no time to complain about the fact that everybody else got a head start. We know they did. We know it wasn't our fault. Nobody's coming to help us, y'all.
Yeah,
We gotta be
ourselves.
Lele. We gotta be Lele. Let's go, y'all. Wake up, y'all. We gotta go. Quit crying. Quit complaining.
Yeah,
They don't
absolutely.
care.
Absolutely.
And I want you to know this. Our people have the greatness. If we jump in the race late, just like Lele, if we get with the program, we can catch up. And we can lap them, y'all. It's a friendly game. Everybody's playing. Let's play, y'all.
Yeah, get in the game.
Let's get educated.
We're at the point where we're getting out of the game completely. Like we need to jump back in and take it by the reins and
you
go.
guys, that's for those that don't know, that's what we're not realizing. We're about to be out of the race,
Yes.
y'all. Completely out.
Yes.
Does the city put in a curfew and state of emergency push people out of race in Akron, Ohio?
In Akron, Ohio, I believe
they were.
I think it's a curfew associated with the shooting now because the police are fearing that the community is going to react so
I mean, of course, like they're gonna protest, but it's like, why do you think that is? Like, why? Like, why are we always here? But yeah,
we've been misguided.
so yeah,
been
like
misguided.
they've prepared for the protest, but you didn't make sure that you prepared your officers to know when to stop shooting, when to even pull out your gun.
Believe me,
now
this.
there's a state of emergency.
This is what I understand.
It's like unnecessary.
I believe this, even at times like this, when it's heavy tension, they're still being told in the back rooms, we got to come home first.
Oh yeah. They
Don't
gotta
worry
get home to
about
their
it.
Kids, yeah.
However, in recent years, starting with the George Floyd in particular, there has been some accountability issue. Like even in Texas, there was a slap on the wrist. The female that came in that house and shot the black guy who was in his apartment.
Oh yeah, the female officer.
Yes.
She didn't really get.
She didn't. She got like 10 years or something. And the black judge, don't you ever mismelevate it. Don't you ever do anything that would mirror that black judge got down off the goddamn bench and gave her a hug.
Oh yeah.
How have you ever seen?
This is clearly shows some form of bias. You're not supposed to be biased. as a
Bro,
You're not supposed to.
You know
you're the neutral party. That is the whole point. And that's something that is becoming more and more typical that I see on the internet is like judges being like, oh well, I hope you die and I hope you rot in prison and you're not supposed to have.
The very first time I've ever heard a death sentence pronounced, it's always cold. Judges are cold. Look how much college they read a lot of books. When judges get to say that must be something that while you're going through law school, that must be something that you can't wait to do. Because when they give that announcement, they always say it icy. You are sentenced to take your last breath in the motherfucker. They say that shit.
Yeah, they get real cold with it for sure.
And then they describe what you did and tell you how horrible it was, and this is why you're going to take your very last breath in the gas chamber. That shit is...
They have a whole speech ready.
Yeah.
They be ready.
And that's the only time the judge is ever allowed to be personal. But my point is this. Do you know how many black babies stood in front of that judge
And I'm sure
and
they
needed a hug? Needed a hug.
Yeah.
And she gave it to that white lady on camera. Amber Geiger got hugged by a beautiful, and guess what? You know why it broke my heart? Because the fact that the lady judged in favor of her going to prison, I was proud of her. And all throughout the courtroom, I just loved how chocolate she was. And this was who holding this lady accountable. It looked like everything was set for us to finally get a little bit of justification out of one of these situations. And she came down off the bench and hugged that woman, Amber Geiger. Amber Geiger, oh my mama, you didn't deserve that hug. That lady looked like all my aunties. You didn't deserve that hug. You took one of our brothers away undeservingly. 10 10-year sentence that we know you probably not going to even do half of the way this go.
How it all is set up, like how jail time is set up, it don't even make any sense, especially for people that do deserve to be in there. Like, oh, well, I did like 2 skips and a hop and I got three minutes of good behavior, so I only got 1 year in jail.
Imagine, in comparison, I have a homeboy of mine who's been in jail 20 years for a 3rd strike in a domestic violence. Domestic violence is the violence is deplorable. It's horrible. It's intolerable. It should never be an excuse for it to take place.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, I'm not talking about a situation where it's, oh, he's a female coming to court saying, he been kicking my ass for years and all that. This was an incident. She called the police. They took pictures. She did have a ooh-wee, and they took pictures. Once they tried to reach out to her, she didn't cooperate. She didn't want to say nothing. She changed her whole story. It's not him. He didn't do it. I ain't seen my nigga in 20 years. I love you, cuz. On my mama, Black Deuce. I'm waiting on you, cuz. I think you're going to get out here. How do you justify that versus this woman took a innocent man's life, and she gets 10 years in a hug?
Yeah, that doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, absolutely.
It's disgusting. It's filthy. It's downright nasty.
It doesn't even make sense. That's why there's such an issue in the Justice Department now, because I mean it's always been, but it's like what needs to happen in order for these things to change, do you think? Like if you had a wand that was waved tomorrow to fix it, how would you start off by fixing it?
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not prescribing this. I'm not saying this should happen. I'm saying, if from my mind frame, if I'm just looking at the whole thing objectively, the most effective way for them to get the message, I'm just confused and I'm perplexed about the concept, the fact that we have so many people willing to do the most deadly things to one another with weapons.
And get off like, oh, here's probation.
No. We go to the prison. We go to the grave and we go to the prison, one upon another. Constantly. We see it every day, headlines. That energy, unfortunately, I would have to say, in my opinion, would have to be directed to someone other than one another.
Yeah. You know what kind of
I think that's
technology and stuff that we could create if we would focus that energy into something actually productive?
Exactly.
You're so busy worry and fear and stuff like that. When it manifests itself, it could be when it lashes out, it could be the most detrimental to your life and other people's lives. Whereas if you would have channeled it in a positive way, it would have
most definitely.
It would have made something better for not only ourselves but maybe the world. Maybe we could be outside of this world by now.
Oh God, don't really. You have to include positive energy, because even with magnets, you have to put the positive sides together for them to come together. When you try to connect negativity with anything, you get the two negative sides won't go together.
Yeah.
The negative and the positive side won't go together.
Negative and positive side.
They do?
Yeah. It's positive and positive and negative.
So for real? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, positive and negatives go together. Opposites attract. That's where you get opposites attract from, because positives and positives and negatives tend to, they repel each other.
So two positives ain't gonna do it either.
No.
Okay. Oops. Scratch that. My bad.
These are the facts.
I was trying to be too slick. Fuck my feelings. Embarrassment is a feeling. The facts have been presented. Factz Ova Feelinz is the name of the podcast. I stand corrected. Thank you.
You're welcome. Not a problem.
I couldn't find someone cuter that I would want to be corrected by.
Oh, thanks. I had to do a little something. Last little education on it.
I'll take that. I just hope that we will see a day while we're still alive that equal justice will be served. I'm not saying that I think we will.
I feel like there needs to be, where are the leaders of this time? Like, there's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of people, and there's a couple, like Sean King is one that's like really coming out like and speaking for. He's one of the people that I always go to read about stuff like this. But I'm saying, where are the leaders to speak up and put, okay, what are we gonna do about this? Like,
I think I'm looking at one.
I think I'll be one. I would be one. I think you are naturally born
one.
Oh, thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yes.
but I think it's time to stand up. Obviously, like you were saying earlier, this is a norm. We've seen it before. We've heard it before. We've talked about it. We've protested. It's time to pick up our shoe and make some moves. Start passing up some people and getting on the top. It's time to start doing that. Like us protesting and stuff that doesn't do anything. It ends up causing more injury and more issue because they fire rubber bullets, all kinds of bullets. Kyle Rittenhouse, I believe it was because of the George Floyd thing, bred Kyle Rittenhouse to come out and defend his town and kill those 3 people.
Indeed.
So, it's causing more harm. And now it's causing like open, in a sense, soon to be open warfare, because if you can pick up your guns to go save your town from the rioting protesters that are protesting this vile and cruel, acts that are being performed by people that are supposed to be protecting and serving us, but I guess it's not even protecting and serving anymore because Miranda rights are now been tossed out.
I've often,
but saying all that to say,
I don't
mean to like over bombard you, but
please.
Saying all that to say, we need leaders now. We need the people to stand up and say okay, and then we need the people to follow, because it's one thing to it sucks this and that, but okay, if we all get outside. And do in one movement, in one accord, in one unit, one strong unit, and that our unit will be strong. We got strong.
Go Lele.
Yes, go Lele.
Let's go Lele.
We got some strong,
all the way into
spirits
the
in our system.
We
can make a change, and it will be a positive one. There is always it would be so awe-inspiring, but we need to do it.
That's Terrence.
We need to do it.
That's Terrence Crawford's daughter, correct? Hey,
I believe
Terrence,
so.
your genetics breeds,
excellence.
Inspiring, inspiring,
and perseverance,
yes,
integrity, strength, all of
yes,
it.
Yes,
like
Layla
I was
is
like,
the truth.
ooh, like she,
yes,
yeah.
She embodies the spirit of our whole movement as a people and what we need to do going forward, y'all. Let's not forget Lele. We love you, Lele.
Yeah, Lele's gonna do some big things. We love you, niece.
I also seen something that was like real funny to me, bro, and I hate the fact. I don't hate it, but I hate that fact. And I don't hate the fact, but I love the fact that I saw a photograph of Eric Holder. He had the lumped in pumpkin. He was lumped up. Now, sometimes you hear about something happening to somebody in jail, and then they are on camera very soon after, and it's like, that shit don't really look like nothing.
Yeah, it don't. He looked like he got flicked. Don't even try to play nobody.
Yeah, but they got this. He got that picture. You could tell what he went through hurt. That shit hurts.
Well, I don't know if we looked at the same photo, but I felt like his eye was maybe a little swollen, a little red, like a little red eye and a little swollen. I mean, he did look like he got beat up, but I mean, like there was that one guy that got like super lumped up, but that was the cops fucking him up.
Police.
Yeah, that's different.
I thought you said certain names.
No, but he got his ass beat. Mm-hmm.
But there was also like he had to get sutures to the back of his head.
Yeah, he did.
There was so much damage to his body to some extent that there were reports he had got sliced or stabbed at one point. That's something we can even think about. I mean, address, but
yeah, we've heard some different kind of tea on that.
Yeah. Because a certain individual who seems to like want to run their mouth to be able to tell all and want to know all ran to the internet and reported, I think initially that he had got stabbed. I think a certain individual was the first person to state that. And, we tapped in with people that are familiar with the case from the legal stand. Yeah. And we know for a fact that that's not something that can be proven. Yeah, it's more likely than not that it didn't take place.
Yeah. Sorry.
I also am curious as to why there's reports now that it's one person, and earlier on, they said he got jumped by a group.
Like a group of people.
Now
we're down.
Why do you think that the story is fluctuating? Do you think that's just misinformation, or do you think...
So did it go from one person to a group of people, or did it go from a group of people
way. First
to one
reports
person?
it was like 3. Now it's reported it was one person, one individual.
Why do I think that is?
Yes.
Well, I think if it was initially reported as a group, it would seem like, oh man, he got like, it was an attack. He didn't know, like he wasn't prepared for it or whatever. If it's like more one-on-one, it's like, you really got your ass beat by somebody, like, one-on-one. So
Oh, yeah,
anybody
see,
could.
I didn't think you was gonna say that's exactly what I think.
See, that's what I would think. Like, if you have a one-on-one and he beats your ass, regardless of his size or whatever, if you clear enough to take a life, you better be ready to stand on 2 feet and have a fight. And if you really got like fucked up off some, like you weren't like prepared for this to happen, like it makes him look, in my opinion,
I think the same way because of the report that it was multiple people initially hit from his lawyer. So when you think about it from that perspective, his lawyer wasn't in his tank. The lawyer is only saying what he said.
Yeah.
So that's what he's telling his lawyer. So this is what the lawyer is telling the world. But like you say, I think that's him trying to save face.
Yeah.
Because
save face, absolutely.
our line of information is coming from an inmate that was in the exact same cell. The cell was a cell full of PCs. Not only was the person who is now receiving the credit for doing it, and we call it credit, he don't get no shout out. Fuck cuz though, cause he a rat. I didn't know that at first. So we was cheering for you. I'm cheering for neighborhood Nip. Love you, Crip. The universe got you, but a rat did it. So you got the rats fighting, bro. So anyway, even if cuz wasn't no rat, that was the issue that's associated with it. But a rat did it, Lo. Imagine that. But
Not all PCs are rats, though.
oh, okay. You gonna cut this part. You gonna have to go do some editing. I got you. Let me get back on track. Got you. Don't leave this in there. You can't. Please don't. You hear me?
It's a quick I and O.
Slick. You gotta make it clear. You don't leave this in there. All right. I'll get it right back. It's crazy that a motherfucking PC did it, even if he ain't a rat. You know, I'm aware of that. Like, as I slow my thoughts down, there are some PCs that aren't rats. So they're being protected custody for other reasons. But however, that's ironic because typically you see how me speaking fast,
gets you jumbled up.
PC rat was synonymous if I think fast before I thought about it. So
no worries, you're good.
Yeah, all right. So I just want to clear the air. Don't want to miss. So we still gonna fuck that. We gonna leave the PC. We don't fuck with PCs though. Anyway, none of that. Oh my mama. So look. Anyway, I shout out to the homie before we do it. But anyway, I say this. Cuz is a Mexican. I swear to God on my mama. When we first heard about it, the first thing out of my mouth to everybody I talked to is, it could have been some essays. I don't know why. It just like, 'cause I know how the temperature of the county jail is. I'm like, bro, that could have been some essays. Everybody loved Nip. And then I'm like, when it coming out that it's to be a essay, that was cool. But like I said, we got our line of information from somebody that was in the cell with inmate. And this is what actually took place from our account is that cuz was like, you know how the courts, when you go to court, that shit, courts might start at 8:30 or 9.
Oh yeah, but the court don't start on time.
No, my point is when you coming from jail, your day starts at like 3:30, 4 in the morning. They waking your ass up and you going through tanks.
You gotta get on a bus and
so when cuz that disrespected neighborhood Nip the Crip and took his life and did that bullshit that's in jail fighting it for his life on the stand, when cuz got to the court tank, he was in the corner full of PCs where he felt safe because PCs pretty much in everybody's mind, you're safe in here. Yeah. He's in the corner trying to doze off and get some sleep because they've been running through the court tanks all morning. And without him knowing it, didn't never see it coming, the essay approached him and gave him one of them boop bop ass whippers. He was already asleep, so he didn't have to knock him out. He just made sure he didn't wake up for a little bit longer. He knocked him out and beat the shit out of cuz. They saying that he got stabbed in the head. Nah, I believe that's going backwards, hitting something hard because they say that shit was right here. And cuz say he did it by himself. And it's the part, I'm gonna get off this. I love this.
Okay.
I love this.
Go ahead.
They asked him why he did it. He said he loved neighborhood Nip. That's why.
Hey.
That's all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I love that part. And I think cuz gonna get some more issues, and I believe he deserve them. I heard somebody say one thing. I heard Cowboy say this. He was like, I don't want nobody to kill him. I don't want him to get off somebody kill him. I want him to stay alive and suffer in jail. I just could say, I ain't gonna say I want nothing. But until whatever happens to him, I enjoy knowing that he can get a bunch of ass whoopings every other day. I hope until he dies, he gets a bunch of ass whoopings. If they could come every other, do you think this? They're saying it's a mistake that he ended up in that tank on behalf of law
You
enforcement.
said it was a setup.
I believe it was a setup. That's how much just
I believe it. I mean, so many jail systems and everything like that. I mean, nobody's watching everybody. You don't know what the hell be going on. They have all kinds of shit going down
this is the thing. He was under the most extreme restricted program that the county. No, it matters because when I was young, I was in the county jail when OJ and the Menendez brothers were in the county jail.
Okay.
He was under the security level that they were under, and their security level is everywhere you go, there's multiple officers walking you, escorting you like you're John Gotti. The people in the jail that ain't nobody finna really fuck with. That's what he was under. How do you lose that type of assignment? How do you not remember where you place something you have to protect that much on accident?
That's what they were saying. That yeah, nah.
He got sent where he went on purpose.
Oh yeah,
in my
absolutely.
opinion. Oh, mama.
Yeah, knowing those facts, yeah.
I'm curious to see what picture you saw. Maybe we did see a different picture because I don't understand how you could have saw that lump up and think that didn't hurt. He about your complexion.
Yeah, he has a black eye. Let's see his first.
You seem like this sophisticated. You too gangster, so that ain't enough. They didn't.
Oh yeah. You know that meme was like, I'm damn near a gangster outside of work. We can't. That's kind of like me. Yeah. I've had a black eye.
Big homie.
Yeah, I've had a black eye before, and this looks
Who
like
gave
it's
it
in
to
the
you?
heel.
Oh,
This is
I don't
in
want to
the
open no
heel.
wounds.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't
It's
want.
not a wound that needs.
It's him.
It's no.
Maybe that.
No.
Okay. That was the wrong thing to ask.
Yeah, we can't edit that out, right?
My bad.
Anyway, so the first picture is a black eye. He has like a reddish eye, and it looks like it's actually coming out from healing. Honestly, he was probably
This is like 3 days, right?
No, same day.
Oh, same day it happened.
same day. Oh, then it's barely getting swollen. If his eye, I wonder what his eye looks like now. If that was that same day, if that was the same day. Then a few hours later, and it looks like that. His eye is going to look.
Did you see him from the other side of his profile?
On the other side, and then he has like a cut on the back of his head. But it's like, it reminds me of when my dogs have wounds. Like,
Okay, but if you trying to take a nap and that's how your nap ends up, that's kind of bad, bro.
I know, I'm kind of dying.
Yeah, that ain't that ain't what you was planning on.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely not. Who wants to get slumped while they're asleep?
Yeah.
Get the S&S.
How you get slept while you sleep?
Why you slept to sleep?
He got slept to sleep.
So the cut on the back of his head on the second photo that I got.
1 to 10. 10, the most severest you could imagine. 1 to 10, what do you rate it?
Oh, see, that you don't want to ask me that because I be watching. I had my leg cut open when I had my motorcycle accident. So
yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah, so this looks like, for me personally, probably like, okay, on a scale for y'all, I'll give it an 8. But for me, this is probably like a 5. A 5. But I would want it stapled. It's already stapled.
I want to
I would want to see what it looked like before. Plus, I've seen dogs get into fights and like those tears too. So I've seen like gaping. I want to see the gore.
So, you know what? You just fucked my head up because yesterday was the 4th and we attended an event together and I learned something about you that I wasn't aware of.
What?
You had an aspiration at one point in your life when you were 18. You had a desire
to do MMA and UFC fighting. Yes, there was a gentleman that had approached me about doing it, and I was like, yeah, for sure, I want to do this. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna take you to Vegas to watch this fight, and then we're gonna get training. And I was like, cool. And right, like the day before I was supposed to go, I had gotten hired at this other place, and I was like, I guess it was meant for me to go here. So I took the little mediocre job instead of being impulsive. But you never know. Like,
so you're telling me
I could have been a
when you look at these people punching and all that blood and they're just rolling around in it and they're still going, and then afterward,
it's a tough bloody sport. I mean,
but they hug each other afterward. You telling me that looks attractive to you?
I didn't even say that looked attractive to me. I'm just
but I
saying
mean,
if
like,
that's
no.
the sport.
When I think about football, I know they hitting this contact, all of it. I want to, it's like, yeah, I
That's
like
even
that.
more contact because you don't have protective gear or anything like that. Like football, if you have a football injury, that's just happenstance, a part of the game. But in UFC, MMA, boxing, the whole goal is to fuck up the person.
Regardless, my point is, yes, it might be similar. My thing is,
So?
I'm admitting mine. Yeah.
So what's your question here?
That's attractive to you? God damn, I just can't believe.
It's not attractive to me. It's just
You know what can happen to that face engaging in that type of activity?
This face is.
It's one of your most valuable. Wait, hold on. I'm not shallow, and I'm not disrespecting my sister. Y'all know how much I appreciate her depth. However, that is one of your best commodities as far as being a public
figure. Well, obviously I didn't take it, and thank God for that. There was a reason.
Thank God.
Thank my higher power. Yes, because I mean, can you imagine? Like I made that choice. I made that choice, and I was like, I thought about it. Can you imagine if I just ignored that and then continue on where my life would possibly? But who knows? I might be the next. I would say Ronda Rousey, but she hasn't been winning lately. But or Conor McGregor, and then I know there's other or like Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I could have been that too, but I chose the little, it was like one of my first big jobs after I
Did you ever fuck with it at all? Spar, try it, kind of like?
Oh, yeah. I like sparring. Like my best friend and I, we spar. We can't spar right now because she's currently with child, but shout out to you, Birdie Bear.
You got ground game or all strikes?
Oh, yeah. I got good hits. I punch really hard. So apparently I have a Thor slap. I didn't know that's a thing. And then when I punch people, it's.
Do you have a favorite UFC fighter?
Currently, no. I'm reacquainting myself with it because for a good minute I wasn't. But
thanks to one of our mutual acquaintances, I frequent UFC events, so I'm inviting you.
Yes, I definitely want to go. I'm about to be like a little kitty child. Like, oh my gosh.
We have a great time. Shout out to all the fellas. Shout out to all the fellas. Shout out to all the fellas. Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to Big Jewel, Marcos. Lil D. How many times did we do this yesterday?
I know, we did this so many times. My whole thing was, as far as the wounds are concerned, like he got his. I mean, and I can understand that too from when he got clocked. If he got clocked like from the front and his head went back, that could have also got it. But in these pictures that I'm seeing right here, I only see the staples. So, what did you expect? You shot an icon that was making a difference. It's almost like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X for some. In a certain retrospect, for the time that we are in, he was like that for us. So what did you expect? When you went to jail, you thought it was going to be lily roses and guards everywhere and you were just going to be cool.
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, me personally, I don't wish harm on anyone, but at the same time, accept accountability that you're going to get some consequences and it might be getting your ass whooped every other day. And that's what happens when you take not only a life, but a life that was inspiring to so many. So as far as that is concerned, for me, it is what it is.
I cannot stay.
We can talk about UFC and MMA another time.
No, but yeah, I realize I want to coin a phrase. Mm-hmm. I've coined it before, but I'm inviting it to the Factz Ova Feelinz platform. It's going to happen on time. From time to time, I engage in something that I consider random ramble. We get distracted.
You should have random ramble nights or whatever on your podcast.
Exactly.
We're claiming it right now.
It happens, y'all. Please
Factz Ova
forgive
Feelinz,
me.
random
ramble, maybe a segment we develop to where.
Yeah, we'll do a live or something. Random ramble sessions.
Maybe we'll time it and give it 5 minutes.
And then just talk about a random topic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. So please excuse me when we get bouncing off subject. That's just the general.
You guys love the conversation, so it's totally fine. Like that's why you're here.
Do you realize we just said the word conversation at the exact same moment?
We're like twinsies.
In two different sentences.
We think the same.
You were making one point. I would make another point.
Because we connect. We have a synergy.
It's the melevation. It's the melevation. We are involved in the process of melevation. I want to thank you, and I want to give you your props for this, which you did not notice, because I'm very observant and analytical. When you left the event yesterday, you said that you were waiting at least 45 minutes to leave after you had that little bitty tiny bit of alcohol. So I respect you for being diligent through
And I had
your
to make
experience.
sure your truck was cool too, cause
I appreciate
your
that
homie
as
was.
well.
I was
Yeah,
like, give me the keys.
Yeah, Marcos.
Yeah,
We
Marcos.
know it don't
be
go like that. We know it don't go like that.
Yeah,
You did the right
he
thing.
was good. He was like, here, we looked at each other, and then he was like, can you? I was like, I got you. I'm gonna move this truck, and then I made sure when I came, I was like, here are your keys. You got your keys,
Yes.
Marcos. You see, because I don't want no confusion.
you-
like she
yeah.
had the keys.
Yeah,
you ain't about
you made
to
sure
give
to make
me.
that clear.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
because-
appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I also want to thank you for coming through once again.
Yeah, thank you for having me
I
again.
want to remind you again that this is your home in front of everybody, and I stand on my
yeah.
word. So even if I'm not scheduled to be working and you want to work, we can go to work.
Okay, yeah, well, you know me. I be texting you like, "What's
Yes,
going on?
whenever.
What's going
Let's
on?"
go,
So
let's go.
we got to do this because I'm getting comfortable now. When I
Yes,
start getting
yes.
comfortable, I start getting kind of kooky. You know,
Mikasa. I swear to God,
Mikasa,
Sukasa. That's how that go. Yeah.
those are the facts.
You can say goodbye. I'm gonna say I'm signing off, y'all. You can say goodbye and let them know where they can keep up with you at again.
Yes, on Melevated at MELAV8D. Melevated. My other Instagram is at Awesome Acid ACYD. You know why? Because I'm a trip.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what.
And guess what, y'all? Is levels and layers to this
Yes,
shit.
levels and layers.
Levels
So
and layers.
stay
That's
tuned. We
hers.
about to be doing some big
I'm gonna
things.
tell you. See why I always get on your slogans. All these are mine. This whole shirt of my slogans.
Oh, so I'm about to have one too.
That's why I
I'm about
fuck
to
with
rock
them so
a
much.
hat,
I
a
love
sweater.
slogans. This is a shirt. These all homemade. SPI originals. I got more. But these mine. All these right here, y'all. God, I made them. Yeah, I'm into
Yeah,
that
so
shit.
no stealing, no
No.
taxis.
And y'all ain't on our level, and y'all ain't got enough layers. Factz Ova Feelinz. Catch up and keep up.
Yes, we'll see you.
Yes.
Nice to have me.
Yeah.
Nice to have you. See you, and thank you guys. It's always been a pleasure, and have a good day.
Hey, for Asmo, I'm on my way, hood. Neighbors.